The morning sun cast long shadows across the fields of New Busan as Kim Dae wiped sweat from his forehead. His strong hands moved with practiced ease through the grain stalks. Each motion looked simple, but carried the precision of someone who had spent years perfecting every movement. The golden crops swayed gently in the breeze while he worked in comfortable silence. His daughter, Park Hana, played nearby. The 12-year-old girl moved between the plants with careful steps. She picked small flowers and arranged them into neat patterns on the ground. Her movements were fluid and controlled. Anyone watching closely might notice how she always stayed, within sight of the settlement's walls, how her game kept her positioned where she could see all approaches to their home. Above them in the clear blue sky, a distant glint appeared. It grew larger as it approached. The object moved too smoothly to be a bird or natural phenomenon. It descended with the controlled grace of advanced technology. Kim Dae looked up at the approaching craft. His weathered face showed mild curiosity, but no fear. He called softly to his daughter. "Hana, come help me carry these tools back home." The girl gathered her flowers quickly. Together they walked toward the center of their settlement. Other colonists emerged from their homes and workshops. Men and women stepped outside to watch the alien vessels approach. Children gathered close to their parents. Everyone moved with calm purpose, but no panic. Lee Taman stood at the settlement's main gate. The tall man wore simple farmer's clothing made from local materials. His graying hair was pulled back in a practical style. To any observer, he appeared to be exactly what he claimed to be. A leader chosen by fellow colonists for his wisdom and steady nature. Behind him, other settlers took positions throughout the area. They moved naturally as if simply curious about their visitors. Dr. Yoon Nari emerged from her medical clinic carrying a leather satchel. Choi Minho left his workshop with tools still in his hands. Kang Subin brushed soil from her gardening clothes as she joined the growing crowd. The alien ship settled onto the flat area outside New Busan's walls. It was larger than any structure in the human settlement. Its hull gleamed with polished metal surfaces. Strange symbols covered its sides. Lights pulsed in patterns that suggested advanced computer systems. A section of the hull opened with a soft hiss. Beings emerged that were clearly not human. They stood taller than most people, and their skin had a blue-tinted quality. Their eyes were larger than human eyes and set wider apart. They wore uniforms that sparkled with embedded technology. Commander. Vextar stepped forward first. The alien leader carried himself with obvious authority. His uniform displayed rank markings that meant nothing to the humans, but clearly indicated his important position. Behind him came other members of his survey team. Scientists with scanning equipment. Security personnel with weapons that hummed with energy. Diplomats trained in first contact procedures. Lee Taman approached the aliens with steady steps. His hands were empty and held at his sides in a peaceful gesture. When he reached speaking distance, he stopped and offered a slight bow. The gesture appeared humble, but his eyes remained alert and watchful. "Welcome to New Busan," Taman said in perfect galactic standard. His accent was slight, but understandable. "I am Lee Taman. We are honored by your visit." Commander Vextar tilted his head in surprise. Most primitive species required translation devices for communication. These humans spoke the common language of civilized space with ease. "Greetings. I am Commander Vextar of the Galactic Hegemony. We detected your settlement during a survey mission. We come in peace." "We are grateful for your peaceful intentions," Taman replied. He gestured toward the settlement behind him. "Our home is simple, but you are welcome here. May we offer you refreshment after your long journey." The alien commander studied the human settlement with professional interest. He saw wooden buildings constructed with obvious skill, fields planted in efficient patterns, people dressed in handmade clothing who appeared healthy and well-fed. Everything suggested a basic agricultural society. Nothing indicated advanced technology or military capability. Taemin led the aliens through New Busan's main street. Children watched with wide eyes, but showed no fear. Adults nodded respectfully as the group passed. Dogs and farm animals continued, their daily routines undisturbed by the alien presence. Dr. Yoon Nari joined them at the settlement center. The middle-aged woman carried medical supplies in her worn leather bag. Her clothing was practical and showed signs of regular use. She greeted the aliens with a warm smile and offered to tend any injuries from their travels. "Your people seem remarkably healthy," observed Dr. Quintal, the alien team's medical specialist. "Do you encounter disease or genetic problems in your isolation?" "We are blessed with good health," Nari replied simply. "Our ancestors chose this world well. The environment suits us. We have learned to use local plants for medicine when needed." Choi Min-ho demonstrated traditional metalworking techniques at his forge. The tools he created appeared primitive but functioned with impressive efficiency. His hammer strikes rang out in steady rhythms. Sparks flew from heated metal as he shaped useful items from raw materials. Kang Subin showed the visitors through her gardens. The plants grew in carefully planned arrangements that maximized both nutrition and yield. Her knowledge of soil conditions and crop rotation impressed even the alien agricultural experts. Yet everything she demonstrated appeared to be simple, farming wisdom passed down through generations. The alien survey team spent hours examining the settlement. They took readings with their advanced instruments. They recorded conversations with willing colonists. They sampled food and water. Every measurement confirmed their initial assessment. This was a basic human colony operating at a pre-industrial level. Commander Vextar compiled his preliminary report as evening approached. The humans had prepared a simple meal to share with their visitors. Local grains formed into bread, vegetables grown in their gardens, water drawn from hand-dug wells. Everything suggested a society that had barely progressed beyond subsistence-level survival. "Analysis complete," Vextar reported to his ship's communication system. "Human colony confirmed. Population approximately 200 individuals. Technology level primitive. Agricultural-based economy. No apparent military capacity. Recommend standard integration protocols for eventual uplift to galactic civilization standards." As the alien team prepared to return to their ship for the night, Lee Taemin approached with a final gift. A small carved wooden box containing samples of their grain varieties. "Please accept this token of our friendship," he said with genuine warmth. "May it represent the beginning of understanding between our peoples." The aliens departed for their ship satisfied with their discovery. Behind them, the human settlement settled into its evening routines. Families gathered for meals. Children played quiet games before bedtime. Adults completed their daily tasks and prepared for rest. But in a building the aliens had identified as a simple storage facility, different conversations were taking place. Lee Taemin met with other settlement leaders in a room the visitors had never seen. Maps covered the walls, showing details no primitive colony should possess. Communication equipment hummed quietly in the background. Phase 1. Complete, Taemin reported to the group. "They see exactly what we intended them to see. A simple farming community that poses no threat to galactic stability." The others nodded understanding. Tomorrow would bring new challenges as the aliens continued their investigation. The colonists of New Busan would continue playing their assigned roles. Humble farmers grateful for contact with advanced civilization, people who needed guidance and protection from more sophisticated species. The truth would remain hidden for now. These humans were far from primitive, they were far from helpless, and they were definitely not what they appeared to be. Outside, the alien ship maintained its position in the landing field. Its crew slept peacefully, believing they had discovered exactly what their scanners and instruments had told them. A backward, human colony in need of their guidance and eventual integration into galactic society. They had no idea what they had actually found. Word count: 1,150. 3 days after first contact, integration specialist Quindar arrived aboard the heavy cruiser Peaceful Unity. The massive ship dwarfed the original survey vessel. Its hull bristled with communication arrays and cultural analysis equipment. Quindar had spent decades helping primitive species transition into galactic civilization. The humans of New Busan would be another successful project for his impressive record. The alien specialist descended to the planet's surface with confidence. His team carried advanced educational materials and basic technology designed to gently introduce backward species to modern concepts. Everything proceeded according to standard protocols for uplifting underdeveloped civilizations. Lee Taman greeted the new arrivals with the same humble courtesy he had shown the survey team. He wore his simple farmer's clothes and spoke with respectful tones. Welcome back, honored visitors. We are grateful for your continued interest in our small community. Quindar studied the human leader through multiple scanning devices. Every reading confirmed that Taman possessed no cybernetic enhancements or genetic modifications. His brain patterns showed normal human baseline activity. His body displayed the expected muscle development of someone who performed manual labor. Nothing suggested hidden capabilities or deceptive intentions. We have come to help your people, Quindar explained through his translation matrix. The galactic hegemony offers education, medical care, and technology to qualifying species. Your settlement shows promise for successful integration. We are honored by such generosity, Taman replied. Though we are simple people, we are eager to learn what wisdom you might share. Choi Minho approached the group carrying a wooden tablet covered with carved symbols. The middle-aged man wore the rough clothing of someone who worked with his hands. His face showed the weathered look of years spent outdoors. He moved with the careful gait of someone who had suffered old injuries that never quite healed properly. Keep the records of our people, Minho explained to the alien specialists. Our history reaches back to the early colonization ships that brought our ancestors to this world. Perhaps these simple writings might interest your scholars. Dr. Kelvar, Quindar's chief cultural analyst, examined the wooden tablet with professional curiosity. The symbols appeared to be a primitive writing system developed in isolation. Each marking showed clear evolution from earlier forms. The story they told was exactly what he expected from a lost colony. According to Minho's records, their ancestors had arrived on transport ships nearly 300 years earlier. The vessels had suffered technical problems that stranded them on this world. Over generations, the colonists had adapted to local conditions. They developed sustainable farming techniques. They learned to work with native materials. They built a stable community that could survive without outside support. Fascinating, Dr. Kelvar commented as he recorded the information. Your people show remarkable resilience. Many isolated colonies fail within the first century. Your ancestors must have possessed exceptional survival skills. They were good people, Minho agreed. They taught us to work hard and help each other. These lessons have served us well through difficult times. While the cultural specialists studied human history, Quindar's medical team examined the colonists' health records. Dr. Yoon Nari provided detailed information about local diseases and treatment methods. Her medical knowledge appeared limited, but practical. She used native plants to create simple remedies that seemed surprisingly effective. Your people live longer than expected for a primitive society, observed Dr. Mixtar, the alien medical specialist. Average lifespan appears to exceed baseline human norms by several decades. This suggests excellent environmental conditions. We are blessed, Nari replied simply. Clean air, pure water, and honest work create good health. Our ancestors chose this world wisely when their ships could travel no further. The alien medical scans revealed other interesting details. The colonists showed remarkable physical conditioning despite their apparent lifestyle. Bone density measurements exceeded normal human ranges. Muscle development suggested extensive physical training beyond simple farm work. Cardiovascular systems functioned at levels typically seen in professional athletes. Dr. Mixtar noted these anomalies in his reports, but attributed them to environmental factors, heavy gravity, physical labor, and genetic selection over generations could explain the unusual readings. Nothing suggested deliberate enhancement or hidden technology. Kang Subin demonstrated agricultural techniques that impressed even the alien specialists. Her crop rotation methods maximized soil nutrition while preventing pest problems. Her seed selection process had improved yields dramatically over baseline varieties. Her irrigation systems distributed water with remarkable efficiency using only gravity and simple engineering. Your farming methods show sophisticated understanding of biological systems, commented agricultural specialist Voron. Such techniques usually require advanced computer modeling to develop. Our grandmothers learned through many seasons of trial and error, Subin explained. Each generation passed knowledge to the next. Over time, we discovered what works best on our world. The aliens recorded everything with careful attention to detail. Every innovation was documented as an example of primitive ingenuity. Every efficient technique was noted as evidence of natural human adaptability. The colonists appeared to be exactly what they claimed to be. Meanwhile, in areas the aliens had not yet explored, different activities were taking place. General Oh Jinwoo moved through tunnels that connected every building in the settlement. The underground passages had been carefully hidden during construction 3 centuries earlier. They allowed rapid movement and communication without detection by orbital sensors. Colonel Bei Woojin reviewed intelligence reports in a chamber the aliens believed was a root storage cellar. Advanced computer systems disguised as food preservation. Equipment analyzed every detail of alien technology and capabilities. Defensive assessments updated in real time as new information became available. Major Shin Yuna coordinated with observation posts positioned throughout the surrounding territory. Teams of specialists monitored alien activities from concealed locations. Every conversation was recorded, every technical scan was analyzed, every weakness in alien security was cataloged for future reference. Captain Jang Seo-hyun led reconnaissance, missions disguised as hunting trips and resource-gathering expeditions. Her teams mapped alien landing sites and temporary installations. They identified weapon positions, communication arrays, and supply storage areas. All information was gathered without triggering alien detection systems. The deception required constant attention to detail. Every colonist maintained their assigned cover identity while performing actual duties. Farmers who were actually combat specialists. Craftspeople who were really intelligence analysts. Teachers who were trained in psychological warfare techniques. Sergeant Han Min-jae worked in the settlement's workshop creating tools that appeared primitive but incorporated advanced metallurgy techniques. His hammered metal showed deliberate imperfections that suggested handcrafting. The molecular structure of his alloys demonstrated capabilities that should not have been possible with available technology. The aliens examined his work with scientific instruments that confirmed their expectations. Simple iron tools created with basic forging methods. Nothing suggested advanced manufacturing or exotic materials. The readings matched perfectly with what they expected to find in a primitive settlement. Your metalwork shows excellent craftsmanship, Specialist Tukran commented approvingly. Such skill requires years of practice and natural talent. My father taught me, as his father taught him, Han Min-jae replied with appropriate humility. We take pride in creating useful things that last many seasons. As evening approached, the aliens prepared to return to their ship. Quindar had gathered extensive data about human culture and capabilities. Every measurement confirmed his initial assessment. These colonists represented a successful example of human adaptability, but posed no challenges to galactic civilization. Progress report. Quindar transmitted to his superiors. Human colony shows excellent potential for integration. Cultural development appropriate for isolation period. Technology level primitive but stable. Medical conditions optimal. Recommend all. Proceeding with standard uplift protocols. The response came quickly from Fleet Command. Additional specialists would arrive within days to begin formal integration procedures. Educational programs would introduce galactic concepts gradually. Medical improvements would be offered to enhance quality of life. Technology transfers would occur at carefully controlled rates. After the aliens departed for their ship, the human settlement returned to its evening routines. Families gathered for meals that looked simple but provided optimal nutrition for enhanced metabolisms. Children played games that were actually training exercises for spatial awareness and tactical thinking. In the hidden command center, General O Jinwoo reviewed the day's intelligence gathering. The aliens continued to see exactly what the colonists wanted them to see. Phase 2 of the deception was proceeding perfectly according to plans developed centuries earlier. Integration specialist deployed as expected, Jinwoo reported to his senior staff. Director Zelmoth arrived with the largest alien fleet yet seen in the system. 5 massive research vessels descended through the atmosphere carrying hundreds of specialists. Cultural anthropologists, technology assessors, biological researchers, and integration coordinators filled the ships. The galactic hegemony had decided that New Busan deserved their most comprehensive first contact protocol. The alien director stood nearly 8 feet tall with silver skin that reflected light in shifting patterns. Her forearms moved with graceful coordination as she examined data tablets and issued instructions to her subordinates. Decades of experience with primitive species had taught her exactly what to expect from isolated human colonies. Lee Taman greeted the expanded alien presence with the same humble dignity he had shown previous visitors. His weathered hands clasped, respectfully as he offered traditional bows. Our small community is honored by such distinguished attention. We welcome all who come in peace to our simple home. Zelmoth studied the human leader through advanced scanning equipment that could detect deception at the molecular level. Every reading confirmed his genuine emotional state. His neural patterns showed honest respect and mild nervousness appropriate for someone meeting advanced beings. His biochemistry displayed no signs of hidden augmentation or artificial enhancement. Your people intrigue us, Zelmoth explained through her universal translator. Initial reports suggest remarkable adaptation to challenging circumstances. We wish to document your achievements for the benefit of galactic science. We are simple farmers, Taman replied carefully. But if our small successes can help others, we are pleased to share what little wisdom we have gained. Dr. An Suho emerged from his workshop carrying examples of human craftsmanship. The elderly man moved with the careful steps of someone whose joints ached from years of physical labor. His clothes bore stains from metalworking and wood carving. His tools appeared to be hand-forged items passed down through generations. These are made with old methods, Suho explained as he displayed various implements to the alien researchers. Our ancestors brought few machines when their ships failed. We learned to create what we needed using materials found on this world. Research specialist Kav-El examined the human tools with instruments capable of analyzing molecular structure and manufacturing techniques. The readings were fascinating. Each item appeared to be created through primitive forging and shaping methods. Yet the metal compositions showed properties that should not have been achievable without advanced metallurgy. Remarkable, Kav-El commented as he studied a simple farming blade. This alloy demonstrates stress resistance patterns typically requiring computer-controlled fabrication. Your traditional methods achieve results that challenge our understanding of materials science. Good metal comes from patience and skill, Suho replied with appropriate modesty. My grandfather taught me to listen to the iron as it heats. Each piece tells you what it wishes to become. Engineer Yu Jihye demonstrated traditional metalworking techniques for the gathered alien scientists. Her forge appeared to be constructed from local stone and clay. Her bellows were made from animal hides sewn with plant fiber thread. Her hammers were wooden-handled tools that showed years of use and careful maintenance. The process she demonstrated should have produced crude iron, implements suitable only for basic tasks. Instead, her finished products displayed molecular structures that rivaled advanced galactic manufacturing techniques. The aliens recorded every detail, but could not explain how primitive methods achieved such sophisticated results. Your ancestors must have possessed exceptional knowledge, observed Dr. Yextar, the fleet's chief materials specialist. These techniques suggest understanding of metallurgy that exceeds most pre-industrial civilizations. They were wise people who learned from necessity, Jihye replied as she shaped glowing metal with practiced movements. When you cannot replace broken tools, you learn to make better ones that will not break. While the aliens focused on human technology, other activities continued throughout the settlement. Children played games that looked innocent, but actually served as training exercises. Young ones like Park Hana and her friends practiced coordination drills disguised as traditional dances. Their movements built reflexes and spatial awareness while appearing to be cultural expressions. Master Kim Tae-wan led groups of colonists in daily exercises that the aliens interpreted as ceremonial activities. The graceful motions resembled martial arts forms but seemed too slow and deliberate for combat applications. Alien observers recorded them as examples of human artistic expression and spiritual practices. The movements were actually advanced. Military training techniques adapted for concealment. Each form taught specific combat skills while building strength and flexibility. Participants learned to strike vital points, disarm opponents, and coordinate group tactics. The exercises prepared every colonist for potential conflict while appearing to be harmless cultural traditions. Communications Officer Park Min-ji organized evening gatherings where colonists shared traditional songs and stories. Her clear voice carried melodies that the aliens found hauntingly beautiful. The harmonies seemed to resonate with deep emotional truths about human nature and experience. The songs were actually coded messages transmitted between different settlements across the galaxy. Quantum encryption algorithms hid within musical patterns that sounded natural to casual listeners. Intelligence reports, supply requests, and tactical updates flowed through seemingly innocent folk music that the aliens recorded for cultural preservation. Your musical traditions demonstrate sophisticated emotional understanding, commented cultural analyst Morvan as she recorded another performance. These compositions suggest psychological insights that typically develop only in advanced civilizations. Music helps us remember who we are, Minji explained after finishing a particularly complex song. Our ancestors brought these melodies from old Earth. We add new verses as our lives change, but the core rhythms remain. Dr. Yoon Nari continued providing medical care that impressed alien health specialists with its effectiveness, despite apparent simplicity. Her treatments used local plants processed through traditional methods that seemed almost primitive. Yet patients recovered from injuries and illnesses with remarkable speed and completeness. The medical scanners showed that colonists healed faster than baseline humans and rarely suffered from degenerative diseases common in other populations. Their immune systems functioned at optimal levels despite the absence of advanced medical technology. Genetic analysis revealed no artificial modifications that could explain these advantages. Your traditional medicine achieves results that challenge conventional medical theory, Dr. Hicksron observed as he studied treatment records. These healing rates exceed what should be possible using plant-based remedies. This world provides what we need, Nari replied as she prepared herbal treatments for patients. Our grandmothers learned which plants help different problems. Time and experience taught us how to use nature's gifts wisely. The alien research team spent weeks documenting every aspect of human culture and technology. They measured crop yields, analyzed building techniques, recorded social interactions, and studied child development practices. Every investigation confirmed their initial assessment while revealing increasingly puzzling anomalies. The colonists appeared to be exactly what they claimed to be: simple farmers who had adapted remarkably well to challenging circumstances. Their technology level remained consistently primitive, despite achieving results that suggested advanced knowledge. Their social structure showed stable development without signs of hidden complexity. Yet something felt subtly wrong to experienced researchers who had studied dozens of primitive species. The humans were too healthy, too skilled, too perfectly adapted to their circumstances. Their innovations solved complex problems with elegant efficiency that usually required sophisticated theoretical understanding. Director Zelmoth compiled her preliminary findings as the research phase neared completion. The data presented fascinating contradictions that challenged standard models of cultural development. These humans demonstrated capabilities that exceeded their apparent technological level by significant margins. Analysis update, Zelmoth transmitted to Fleet Command. Human colony shows unprecedented adaptation success. Technology primitive, but results exceed theoretical limitations. Cultural development stable but unusually sophisticated. Medical status optimal despite basic care methods. Recommend extended study period before integration procedures. The response from Galactic Headquarters authorized additional research time. Scientists throughout the hegemony expressed interest in studying a colony that appeared to violate several established principles of civilizational development. New Busan had become a significant academic curiosity. As another day ended, the human settlement settled into familiar evening routines. Families gathered for meals that looked simple, but provided precisely calculated nutrition for enhanced metabolisms. Adults reviewed daily activities while planning tomorrow's deception. Children practiced skills that would serve them in conflicts the aliens could not imagine. In hidden chambers beneath innocent buildings, military specialists analyzed every detail of alien techno. Intelligence analyst Lim Soo-young noticed the pattern first. She had spent 3 weeks observing human behavior from her position aboard the research vessel Enlightened Discovery. Her job required documenting social interactions and cultural practices among primitive species. The colonists of New Busan displayed fascinating behaviors that did not quite match her expectations. The humans always seemed to know when ships approached their system before alien sensors detected the vessels. Farmers working in distant fields would begin moving toward the settlement minutes before communication arrays registered incoming signals. Children playing near the forest edges would return home just as long-range scanners identified new arrivals. Curious, Lim Soo-young noted in her daily report, subjects demonstrate awareness of space traffic that exceeds available technology. Possible explanations include enhanced sensory capabilities or undiscovered detection methods. Security Chief Rothkar had been conducting his own investigations with growing concern. His military background made him naturally suspicious of anything that seemed too perfect. The human settlement displayed defensive advantages that appeared accidental but formed comprehensive protection against potential threats. Every building in New Busan was positioned to provide overlapping fields of observation and fire. The wells were deep enough to hide significant infrastructure. The grain storage facilities could serve as fortified positions. The workshop areas contained enough raw materials to manufacture weapons and ammunition for extended conflicts. Standard. Sweep complete, Rothkar reported to Director Zelmoth. Settlement layout shows remarkable defensive characteristics. Possibly coincidental, but recommend increased security monitoring. The breakthrough came when Corporal Moon Hyun-woo suffered what appeared to be a simple farming accident. The young man had been working near the alien landing area when his digging tool struck an unexpected obstacle. The impact sent him tumbling backward with enough force to tear his clothing and expose the skin beneath. Dr. Mixtar rushed to provide medical assistance along with human healer Yoon Nari. The alien physician activated his emergency medical scanner while Nari began applying traditional first aid techniques. Both worked quickly to assess the extent of Hyunwoo's injuries and provide appropriate treatment. The medical scanner revealed information that changed everything. Beneath what appeared to be simple farmer's clothing, Hyunwoo wore a sophisticated underlayer that absorbed and distributed impact forces. The material was woven from fibers that demonstrated properties impossible to achieve with available human technology. More disturbing were the readings from his exposed skin. Subcutaneous modifications enhanced muscle density and bone strength, far beyond baseline human norms. Neural pathway analysis showed processing speeds that suggested cybernetic enhancement or genetic optimization. Blood chemistry included compounds that should not have existed in a primitive colonist. Fascinating medical anomaly, Dr. Mixtar reported privately to his research supervisor. Subject displays biological enhancements consistent with advanced technological modification. Readings contradict all previous assessments of human capabilities. Medic Jung Se-hoon worked desperately to maintain their cover while treating Hyunwoo's injuries. The young soldier had trained for years to play his role as a simple farmer. His equipment was designed to pass casual inspection, but detailed medical scans revealed capabilities that destroyed their carefully constructed deception. Old injury. Acting up again, Se-hoon explained quickly as he applied bandages over the damaged areas. Some of our people carry scars from accidents during the early settlement period. Healing sometimes creates unusual tissue formations. The alien physician accepted the explanation but continued his scans with increased interest. The readings suggested that these humans possess biological capabilities that exceeded anything previously documented in primitive species. Such modifications required technology that should not have existed in an isolated agricultural colony. Colonial Administrator Vel Nash began connecting disturbing details that her previous reports had dismissed as coincidental anomalies. The human innovations she had cataloged as examples of primitive ingenuity actually solved complex problems that required sophisticated theoretical knowledge. Their crop rotation systems optimized soil nutrition using principles that typically required advanced computer modeling. Their building techniques created structures that could withstand seismic events and severe weather conditions. Their tool manufacturing achieved metallurgical results that challenged current scientific understanding. Pattern analysis complete, Velnash transmitted to fleet headquarters. Human colony demonstrates capabilities that exceed assessed technology level by orders of magnitude. Recommend immediate tactical assessment and security review. The aliens increased their surveillance efforts while maintaining diplomatic protocols. Additional scanning equipment was deployed around the settlement perimeter. Long-range sensors monitored all human activities with enhanced sensitivity. Communication intercepts attempted to detect hidden transmissions between colonists. The humans adapted to increased observation with skills that confirmed alien suspicions. Every colonist continued performing their assigned roles while avoiding behaviors that might reveal their true nature. Children played innocent games that never quite exposed their enhanced reflexes. Adults worked with tools that appeared primitive but functioned with impossible efficiency. Captain Jang Seo-hyun led teams on hunting expeditions that served as reconnaissance missions for mapping alien positions and capabilities. Her groups moved through the surrounding wilderness with expertise that suggested military training disguised as survival skills learned through generations of colonial life. The hunting parties always returned with appropriate amounts of game meat to justify their absences. They brought back useful plants and materials that supported the settlement's apparent needs. Everything appeared normal to casual observation, while actually providing detailed intelligence about alien defensive installations. Sergeant Han Min-jae continued his metalworking demonstrations for alien scientists who could not explain how his primitive techniques achieved such sophisticated results. Each tool he created showed deliberate imperfections that suggested handcrafting while incorporating molecular structures that required advanced manufacturing processes. Traditional knowledge passed down through generations, Minjay explained, as he shaped heated metal with movements that appeared clumsy but actually demonstrated precise control. Our ancestors learned these methods through necessity when their machines failed. The aliens recorded every detail while struggling to understand how primitive techniques could produce such advanced results. Their instruments confirmed that the tools were created using basic forging methods, yet the molecular analysis revealed capabilities that should not have been possible without computer-controlled fabrication. Dr. An Suho provided increasingly sophisticated inventions that he claimed were improvements on traditional designs developed by trial and error over generations. His workshop contained devices that appeared to be simple mechanical tools, but demonstrated principles that challenged alien understanding of physics and engineering. Creativity born from isolation, Suho explained, as he demonstrated a device that appeared to be a basic grain processor but actually incorporated quantum mechanical principles. When you cannot buy replacements, you learn to make things work better than before. The alien researchers documented everything while feeling increasingly uncomfortable with their findings. The humans were too advanced for their apparent circumstances. Their innovations were too sophisticated for their claimed isolation. Their capabilities were too extensive for their supposed primitive status. Yet every test confirmed that these people were exactly what they appeared to be: simple farmers who had adapted remarkably well to challenging circumstances. Their technology remained consistently primitive, despite achieving results that suggested advanced knowledge. Their society showed stable development without signs of hidden complexity. Director Zelmoth compiled her updated assessment as disturbing reports accumulated from all research teams. The evidence suggested that New Busan represented something unprecedented in galactic history, a primitive colony that somehow achieved capabilities that exceeded their apparent technological development by impossible margins. Situation update. Zelmoth transmitted to Fleet Command with growing concern. Human colony displays anomalous characteristics that require immediate investigation. Technology assessments show contradictory results. Medical analysis reveals impossible biological enhancements. Security evaluation indicates potential deception. The response from Galactic Headquarters authorized deployment of specialized investigation teams equipped with the most advanced detection and analysis equipment available to the hegemony. Whatever was happening on New Busan had attracted attention at the highest levels of government and military command. As tension increased among the alien researchers, the human colonists continued their daily routines with apparent calm. Families gathered for evening meals while discussing simple matters of farming and community life. Children played traditional games while adults completed their regular tasks. But in hidden chambers beneath the settlement, differ. The crisis began when patrol vessel Silver Dawn disappeared without sending a distress signal while investigating unusual readings near the system's outer asteroid belt. Commander Vexitar had dispatched the ship to examine what appeared to be mineral deposits that could provide raw materials for the expanding research operation on New Busan. Admiral Kethvar arrived within hours aboard the battlecruiser Righteous Fury, accompanied by an escort of 6 destroyers. The fleet commander had fought in 17 major conflicts and earned recognition as one of the hegemony's most capable military leaders. He did not believe in coincidences when ships vanished near primitive colonies. Battle stations, Kethvar ordered as his task force approached the coordinates where Silver Dawn had last reported. Deploy sensor nets, scan for debris fields, locate that missing vessel, and determine what destroyed it. The search revealed disturbing evidence. Microscopic traces of exotic metals suggested that Silver Dawn had been disabled by weapons using technology that should not have existed anywhere in this system. The energy signatures indicated directed particle beams operating at power levels that required massive installations to generate. Pilot Commander Yoon Ha-jin monitored the alien search efforts from her concealed position inside what appeared to be a mining station carved into a large asteroid. The facility had been constructed over decades using techniques that left it virtually undetectable to standard scanning methods. Her squadron of modified fighters waited in hidden launch bays. The alien patrol ship had come too close to discovering the secret base. Standard protocols required eliminating threats to operational security before they could report their findings. Hajin's pilots had intercepted Silver Dawn and disabled its communication systems before the crew realized what was happening. Target neutralized without casualties, Hajin reported through quantum-encrypted channels to General Oh Jinwoo on the planet's surface. Crew unconscious but unharmed. Vessel secured in Base 7 for intelligence analysis. Alien fleet deploying. Search patterns. Recommend maintaining stealth protocols. Jinwoo reviewed tactical displays that showed alien warships surrounding New Busan with weapons systems active. The battlecruiser alone carried enough firepower to reduce the entire settlement to smoking ruins within minutes. Additional forces were arriving hourly as the hegemony responded to potential threats against their research operation. Red alert status confirmed, Jinwoo transmitted to all units. Prepare for possible exposure. Activate defensive systems. Ready all personnel for combat operations. Maintain cover identities until situation develops further. On the planet's surface, the alien researchers continued their investigations while unaware that their colleagues were missing rather than simply delayed. Director Zelmoth had authorized the most intensive analysis yet attempted on a primitive species. Every human activity was monitored using surveillance equipment that could detect deception at the molecular level. The breakthrough came when deep scanning systems penetrated subsurface areas that had previously been assumed to contain simple storage facilities and utility systems. The readings revealed a complex network of tunnels, chambers, and installations that extended far beneath the apparent boundaries of New Busan. Impossible, Dr. Cavell muttered as he reviewed the structural analysis data. These tunnels show construction techniques that require advanced engineering knowledge. The facility extends for kilometers in all directions. This is not a primitive farming settlement. Security Chief Rothkar immediately activated emergency protocols when he realized that the humans had been deceiving them from the beginning. His security team surrounded key buildings while he transmitted urgent warnings to the fleet commander orbiting above. Ground control to Admiral Kethvar, Rothkar reported with barely controlled panic. Human colony is not what it appears to be. Underground installations suggest advanced military capabilities. Recommend immediate evacuation and tactical assessment. Admiral Lee Kyung-ho received the transmission in his command center located 50 meters beneath what the aliens believed was New Busan's grain storage facility. The massive installation contained enough processing power to coordinate military operations across multiple star systems. Holographic displays showed real-time positions of every alien asset within the solar system. Phase transition authorized, Kyung-ho announced to his staff officers. Operational security compromised. Initiate revelation protocols. All units prepare for full capability demonstration. The transformation began with subtle changes that quickly accelerated into obvious impossibilities. Buildings that had appeared to be simple wooden structures revealed themselves as sophisticated installations when concealment fields powered down. Defensive systems emerged from underground positions that had been hidden for centuries. Weapons specialist Kwon Dae-yoon activated the primary defense grid as camouflaged systems throughout the settlement revealed their true nature. What the aliens had identified as irrigation channels were actually conduits for energy weapons that could engage orbital targets. Simple wells contained missile launchers loaded with warheads that incorporated technology decades ahead of current galactic standards. Defense grid online, Dae-yoon reported as targeting systems locked onto alien vessels throughout the system. All platforms report ready status, awaiting fire control authorization. The aliens watched in shock as their peaceful research subjects transformed into something that challenged everything they thought they knew about human capabilities. Farmers dropped their tools and revealed military equipment that had been disguised as simple implements. Children who had appeared innocent demonstrated combat skills that suggested years of intensive training. Strategic Operations Director Song. Hyeri established communication with the alien fleet using transmission methods that bypassed their security systems entirely. Her message appeared simultaneously on every screen aboard every vessel, while stunning alien crews with its implications. "Attention Galactic Hegemony Forces," Hyeri announced with calm authority. "You have discovered a classified military installation belonging to Earth's Phoenix Defense Network. Your research operation has been monitored and assessed for potential threat levels. Please maintain current positions while we determine appropriate response protocols." Admiral Kethvar struggled to comprehend what he was seeing as his instruments confirmed the impossible. The primitive human colony had revealed itself as a military base equipped with weapons and defenses that exceeded anything in the hegemony. Fleet. Targeting systems were already locked onto his ships with enough firepower to destroy his entire task force. "Impossible," Kethvar transmitted to his fleet. "Humans do not possess such technology. These readings must be errors or deception." Devices. Maintain alert status but do not engage without authorization. Captain Nam Ji-won materialized on the Bridge of Righteous Fury using transportation technology that allowed her to bypass every security system protecting the alien flagship. She appeared in full military uniform, displaying rank insignia that identified her as a senior officer in an organization the aliens had never heard of. "Admiral Kethvar," Nam Ji-won said with respectful but firm tone. "I am Captain Nam Ji-won of the Phoenix Network Strategic Command. We need to discuss the current situation before it escalates beyond diplomatic resolution." The alien admiral activated every weapon system and defensive shield available to his vessel. His crew scrambled to target the intruder while struggling, to understand how she had penetrated their most advanced security measures. Emergency alarms sounded throughout the ship as combat systems engaged. "How did you get aboard my ship?" Kethvar demanded while his security teams surrounded the human officer with weapons drawn. "What are you, and what do you want?" "Admiral, you have discovered something that was not intended for galactic knowledge," Nam Ji-won explained calmly despite being surrounded by hostile aliens pointing energy weapons at her. "The Phoenix Network represents humanity's deep-cover strategic operations. We have been monitoring galactic civilization for centuries while remaining hidden." The truth was more disturbing than Kethvar could have imagined. While the known human territories maintained diplomatic relations with alien powers, secret military units had been establishing hidden bases throughout the galaxy. New Busan was just one of hundreds of installations that had been preparing for conflicts that diplomacy could not prevent. "Your species has been deceiving the entire galactic community," Kethvar accused as he began to understand the scope of human deception. "These installations violate every treaty and agreement governing interstellar relations." "We violated no agreements because we were never bound by them," Nam Ji-won replied. "The Phoenix Network operates independently of official human government policies. We exist to protect humanity from threats that conventional diplomacy cannot address." Dr. An Suho emerged from his workshop carrying equipment that demonstrated the true level of human technological advancement. Devices that had appeared to be simple tools revealed themselves as weapons and sensors that incorporated principles unknown to galactic science. His elderly appearance disguised cybernetic enhancements that allowed him to interface directly with advanced computer systems. "Every innovation we demonstrated was real," Suho explained to the alien researchers who had spent weeks documenting human achievements. "We simply allowed you to interpret them according to your expectations rather than revealing their true capabilities." The aliens realized they had been completely outmaneuvered by beings they had assumed were primitive farmers in need of guidance and protection. Every measurement, every assessment, every conclusion had been carefully manipulated to support false assumptions about human capabilities and intentions. Lee Taman stood before Director Zelmoth without his humble farmer disguise. His true bearing, revealed a military commander who had spent decades perfecting the art of deception. The weathered clothing was gone, replaced by a uniform that identified him as a general in an organization that had successfully hidden from galactic civilization for 3 centuries. "We apologize for the deception," Taman said without appearing particularly sorry. "But your people needed to believe they had discovered a primitive colony. The alternative would have raised questions that we were not prepared to answer." The greatest shock came when the aliens realized how thoroughly they had been observed and analyzed. Every conversation had been recorded. Every technical procedure had been documented. Every weakness in alien security had been cataloged for future reference. "Intelligence gathering complete," reported Communications Officer Park Minji as she revealed monitoring equipment that had been recording alien activities since their first arrival. "Full technical analysis of hegemony capabilities has been transmitted to Phoenix Command for strategic assessment." Admiral Kethvar found himself commanding a fleet that was surrounded, outgunned, and completely at the mercy of enemies who had been pretending to be friends. The humans offered no immediate threats but made it clear that they possessed the capability to destroy every alien vessel in the system if they chose to do so. The mask had fallen. The truth was revealed. And the galaxy would never be the same again. Grand Admiral Seo Min-seok arrived at New Busan aboard a vessel that appeared from nowhere using technology that violated every known principle of faster-than-light travel. The ship materialized without triggering any of the hegemony fleet's detection systems. Its hull design incorporated stealth capabilities that rendered it invisible to sensors until its commander chose to reveal its presence. The alien crews watched in stunned silence as the massive human warship dwarfed their own vessels. Despite having appeared without warning in the middle of their formation, its weapon systems came online with power readings that exceeded the combined firepower of the entire hegemony task force. This was technology that should not have existed anywhere in known space. Min-seok transported directly to the bridge of Admiral Kethvar's flagship using the same methods that had brought Captain Nam Ji-won aboard earlier. The human commander wore a uniform that displayed rank insignia identifying him as the supreme military authority of an organization that had successfully hidden from galactic civilization for 3 centuries. "Admiral Kethvar," Min-seok said, with the calm confidence of someone who held absolute tactical advantage. "I am Grand Admiral Seo Min-seok, commander of all Phoenix Network operations. We need to discuss what happens next." The alien commander struggled to maintain composure while facing the collapse of everything he thought he knew about human capabilities and galactic power structures. His fleet was surrounded by enemies who possessed technology that made his weapons obsolete. His crew looked to him for leadership in a situation that exceeded all their training and experience. "What are you?" Kethvar demanded with anger and fear competing in his voice. "What do you want from us?" "We are what humanity becomes when we prepare for war instead of hoping for peace," Min-seok replied. "And what we want is very simple. We want you to forget that you ever found this place." Dr. Ryu Yunbi materialized beside the human admiral using personal transportation technology that allowed individuals to move instantly across interstellar distances. Her appearance revealed the truth about human biological development that the aliens had been trying to understand through their research. The woman who had been analyzing human genetic samples was herself an example of capabilities that exceeded baseline human norms by orders of magnitude. Her enhanced physiology allowed her to survive in environments that would kill unmodified beings. Her neural processing capabilities operated at speeds that enabled real-time analysis of complex scientific problems. Your researchers spent weeks trying to understand how we achieved our biological advantages, Yunbi explained to the alien scientists who had been studying human health and genetics. "The answer is that we deliberately enhanced ourselves for survival in hostile environments and extended military operations." Biotech specialist Ko Hyunbin demonstrated abilities that revealed how extensively humans had modified themselves for warfare, and exploration. His cellular structure had been optimized for rapid healing and enhanced strength. His sensory organs could detect threats across expanded spectrums of electromagnetic radiation. His brain incorporated quantum processing, elements that allowed direct interface with advanced computer systems. "We are not the same species that your ancestors first encountered centuries ago," Hyunbin explained as he casually lifted equipment that should have required mechanical assistance. "We have become something designed for survival in circumstances that would destroy conventional biological entities." The aliens realized they were not facing primitive humans who needed guidance and protection. They were confronting beings who had evolved beyond baseline humanity into something that challenged their fundamental assumptions about biological limitations and technological development. Ambassador Cha Youngjin stepped forward to address the assembled alien commanders and researchers. Her diplomatic credentials identified her as the official representative of human interests in situations requiring negotiation rather than military action. Yet her presence here suggested that diplomacy would proceed according to human terms, rather than galactic protocols. "You came to New Busan expecting to discover a primitive colony that could be integrated into galactic civilization," Youngjin said with the authority of someone who spoke for powers that remained hidden from public knowledge. "Instead, you have uncovered evidence of capabilities that your governments would find deeply disturbing." The truth was more extensive than any alien had imagined. While known human territories maintained peaceful relations with galactic civilization, the Phoenix Network had been establishing hidden installations throughout explored space. Hundreds of systems contained secret bases that monitored alien activities while preparing for conflicts that conventional diplomacy could not prevent. "We offer you a choice," Youngjin continued as tactical displays showed the locations of other Phoenix installations scattered across the galaxy. "You can report that you discovered a minor agricultural settlement of no strategic significance, or you can reveal the truth and face the consequences of that decision." The consequences were clear to anyone who understood the implications. If the hegemony government learned that humans possessed advanced military capabilities that had been hidden for centuries, the resulting panic would destabilize interstellar relations throughout known space. Every alien power would demand immediate action to counter threats they could not assess or understand. Director Kim Soyeon appeared from the hidden command center that had been coordinating Phoenix operations across multiple star systems. Her true role as Strategic Operations Commander revealed the scope of human intelligence gathering that had been occurring while aliens believed they were studying primitive colonists. "Every conversation you have had here was recorded and analyzed," Soyeon explained to the alien researchers who thought they had been conducting objective scientific studies. "Every technical procedure you demonstrated was documented for strategic assessment. Every weakness in your security protocols has been cataloged for future reference." The aliens discovered that their months of research had actually been an intensive intelligence gathering operation conducted by the subjects they thought they were studying. The humans had learned everything about hegemony technology, tactics, and capabilities, while revealing nothing about their own true nature until exposure became unavoidable. Admiral Kethvar faced an impossible decision that would determine the future of galactic civilization. He could report the truth and trigger conflicts that might destroy interstellar peace. Or he could participate in a deception that would allow humanity to continue operating in secret while alien governments remained unaware of threats they could not counter. "You are asking me to lie to my superiors," Kethvar protested as he began to understand the choice being offered. "You want me to hide evidence of military capabilities that violate every principle of interstellar law. We are asking you to prevent a war that nobody wants," Minsok replied, with the calm certainty of someone who had planned for this moment for decades. "The Phoenix Network exists to protect humanity from threats that conventional diplomacy cannot address. We have no interest in conquering galactic civilization. We simply want to ensure our species survives whatever challenges the future might bring." The human commander activated holographic displays that showed the true extent of Phoenix operations throughout known space, hidden bases in dozens of systems, stealth vessels monitoring major shipping routes, intelligence networks that had penetrated every significant alien government and military organization. This is what 3 centuries of preparation looks like when a species decides that survival requires more than hope and good intentions. Min-Sok explained, as the displays revealed capabilities that made conventional military planning obsolete. "We are not your enemies unless you choose to make us your enemies." The aliens realized they were looking at evidence of the most successful intelligence operation in galactic history. While their governments had been conducting diplomatic relations with known human territories, an entire shadow civilization had been developing capabilities that exceeded anything in conventional space. "Your choice is simple," Ambassador Youngjin said as she prepared the final terms of their negotiation. "Maintain the official fiction that New Busan was a primitive agricultural settlement. Submit reports that dismiss any anomalous readings as measurement errors or equipment malfunctions. Continue your careers without revealing what you have learned here." The alternative was clear. Any attempt to expose Phoenix operations would result in the release of intelligence that would destroy alien military security throughout the galaxy. The humans had been watching and recording everything for centuries. They possessed information that could cripple any government that chose to oppose them. "We know the locations of your secret military installations," Director Kim Soyeon added, as she displayed intelligence that should not have been available to any outside organization. "We have identified the personal weaknesses of your senior commanders. We understand the political tensions that your governments try to hide from public knowledge." The message was unmistakable. Humanity had been preparing for this confrontation since before most of the alien officers had been born. They possessed advantages that made conventional military responses impossible and diplomatic solutions necessary. Admiral Kethvar looked around his bridge at crew members who waited for orders that would determine their futures. He could fight and watch his fleet be destroyed by weapons that operated beyond his understanding. He could report the truth and trigger conflicts that would destabilize galactic civilization. Or he could accept human terms and preserve peace through carefully maintained deception. "What guarantees do we have?" Kethvar asked as he began to accept the inevitable. "How do we know you will honor your agreement to remain hidden?" "You have the same guarantee that has kept us hidden for 3 centuries, Min-Sok replied. "It serves our interests to remain secret as long as galactic civilization does not threaten human survival. We gain nothing by revealing ourselves unless circumstances force our hand." The negotiations concluded with agreements that would reshape the hidden balance of power throughout known space. The aliens would report their discovery of a minor human agricultural settlement that posed no threat to galactic security. The humans would continue operating in secret while monitoring alien activities for potential threats. Official records would show that the Hegemony research expedition had been a routine first contact mission that confirmed human adaptability but revealed no strategic concerns. The missing patrol vessel would be attributed to equipment failures that resulted in the crew being rescued by passing merchant vessels. As the alien fleet prepared to depart New Busan, Director Kim Soyeon activated quantum communication networks that connected Phoenix installations across hundreds of star systems. The message was brief but significant. First contact protocols had been successfully completed. Deep cover operations would continue as planned. "Phase transition complete," Soyeon reported to commanders throughout the galaxy. "Alien forces departing with acceptable agreements in place. Resume standard operational security. Maintain surveillance. Protocols. Prepare for expanded activities as strategic situation develops." The ships of the galactic hegemony disappeared into hyperspace, carrying crews who had sworn to maintain secrets that could never be revealed. Behind them, New Busan returned to its apparent role as a simple farming community that had briefly attracted scientific interest before being dismissed as strategically insignificant. But beneath the surface, humanity's greatest achievement continued operating according to plans that spanned centuries. The Phoenix Network remained hidden in plain sight, watching and waiting while galactic civilization continued believing it understood the true balance of power among the stars. The aliens had discovered what should have stayed hidden, and they had chosen to pretend they never found it at all.